All right, so welcome to another episode of We the Podcast. We're just doing our
Woo.
usual checkity live check here. Eh. Episode 14. Think we would know what we're doing by now, but we don't. I'm
It still takes a couple of seconds. Yeah, we do
well,
know what we're doing, kind of.
uh,
A little bit.
coming from the Black Lakes of Black Lake, and the Boom, joined by Harry, Wild, Wyla, and our guest.
Hello.
Our guest for
Very
this
well.
episode.
Hey,
Uh,
wow.
okay, still doing stuff here. Okay. Our guest for this episode is Henry Ford Monroe.
What?
All right, I think. Can you say something, Henry and Wyla?
Boo. It is me.
All right,
I'm
I think.
here.
Can you say something, All right, Henry just doing a test. Can you hear Wyla?
It is me.
All right,
I'm
I
here.
think. Can you say something, All right, just doing a test. Oh God.
Can you hear?
Can you just like say random things for a minute, Henry? Oh God. Can you just like say random things for a minute, Henry?
Is it coming through?
I don't think I can hear him on the YouTube.
Oh, shit. If you go into your party settings, is like, what are we calling you now? Because I'm tempted to just call you Dean, but all right, okay. So, Dean, have you checked your party settings and set it to allow your voice to be broadcast?
Um,
Because
okay.
Vectarg had him set as well, and it was wrong. So we might get you to leave the party, come back. That might fix it if it's.
Oh, I think it should be good now. I don't know, just yeah, check.
Yeah, it's working now.
Okay.
Oi,
Okay, nice,
hey, I'll get the fire going.
nice. All right, episode 14, We the Podcast. Got Dean Ford on here. Oh, huge content creator for We the Remain.
Yeah, big time. Very reliable as well. Unlike, unlike me.
Yeah, no one mentioned my name. I was gonna say you haven't posted a video since last summer.
I know. I'm still on Catalina. Like I haven't even gotten up to Amelie yet. It's fucking ridiculous. I haven't gotten time.
Well, but thank you so much for doing this, man, and on short notice too.
Oh yeah, no problem. Just happy to be here, honestly.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a disaster trying to get you on here. It's been a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Um, when did you die most recently? Oh, you haven't died in a while, have you?
Keep girl
No, no.
Doctor Monroe, right?
Okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah, right now I'm still on Dr. Monroe. I think last time I died, I was playing. I was playing Poe, more of a less known character.
Ah, I heard about Poe.
Yeah.
You're terrifying Max for a while.
Just yeah, that was one of his many quests.
Nice. Poor
Yeah,
Max.
I gotta ask you about Poe. I ran into somebody. I can't remember who his name was. Rick, I think his name was. It was like south of Gorka,
Yes.
and he's like, if you see Poe, run away, because like he'll want you to like stab him in the chest or something like that.
Yep, that definitely sounds like Poe.
Yeah, it was in a video of somebody's as well. Was it yours or Shifty's or somebody's boom?
Oh,
You
I
did
don't
actually
know.
make it into Poe did make it into a video. I think it might have been Shifty's actually.
Oh.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Somebody says, "Oh, you killed Poe, so now you're a golf now or something."
Huh? Anyway, let's start from the start. How long you been on We That Remain? You were there before me.
Um, I joined the server like midway through 3.0, but then I actually started playing when Contagion began, and
Cool.
yeah, I've been here since then.
Nice, cool. And who were you at the start? You were Kenny at the start of Contagion, weren't you? Because,
Um,
or were
Actually,
you?
Kenny was my second character.
Hmm.
My first character, I don't know, I'm not really too fond of him. He was when I was just getting into it, I guess. His name was Josh. He was part of Gleniska.
Right.
But yeah, Kenny's more like I'd say he's my favorite character that I've made in Contagion. Most well known as well.
Mm.
Cool.
He was in Livonia too, right? Didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So
Fucking A, yeah.
he had some life to him then. He was just around for a bit.
Yeah.
Uh,
How
I don't
did
know.
you
Go off, man. Yeah.
I don't know, I was gonna say, how did you come to meet Jason over there at, what were they calling it, Jackson Metallurg?
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah, so in Contagion, uh yeah, so Kenny was in Livonia and he made his way he got to Chinaris eventually and he had some goals, but like this character had gone through a lot. He'd suffered a lot of losses, I mean, a lot of people that he loved were dead. So he's more so just isolated himself. He actually lived on, I think I can never remember the name of it. I think it's Scalicity. He lived on like the
Oh, yeah.
island with the castle. So yeah,
Okay.
he was there for a little while, but he needed to search, well, he wanted to search for the rest of his people, see if they were still alive, if they even got to Chinaris. And it's funny, so the character of Jason, he put out a message on the radio looking for people to join a community. And it just so happened that most of Kenny's people, one of them being Ches, were part of that community. It's just Kenny didn't know.
Hmm.
And long story short, he got kidnapped, beat the shit out of, and eventually let into the ranks of Metallurg.
Holy shit.
Oh.
Yeah, it was some good RP though, like, cause
I love the weapons.
yeah,
They're fun.
mm,
Yeah, I remember Jason telling Detective Hardy, like, don't get around that guy, he's crazy. We just had him
oh, I like people would just come by me and I'd like, because Kenny he was pretty mentally like far gone at this point. So whenever like people would come by, or even if they weren't there, I'd just start singing like just some songs from around the time, and people would come by and they like some of them would be like, "What the fuck are you doing? Are you
yeah.
good?" And I'd just keep singing, and then eventually I'd scare them off, and they'd just walk away.
Jesus.
Yeah, he was very far gone, Kenny. But
Yeah. It was
yeah.
always awkward trying to talk to him.
I never got to know him too well. It was just literally that one time I was sitting around in the Vanguard base and you were
Mm.
training up Red, like doing push-ups and fucking beating the
Yeah.
shit out of the car. That was
Uh,
cool. That was fun. And I remember fucking, what was it? Jack called you a fuckwit at some point for something. I don't know what that was all about.
yeah, yeah. Yep. Kenny and Jack didn't have the best relationship, to say the least.
No, there was always that thing that came out later that never really didn't really hit my mind until like months after. Because I remember at one point Kenny was saying that Jason had told him on the bridge that he was one of the overthrow the Vanguard or Jack and become the
Mm,
leader.
Oh,
yeah.
And
what?
yeah, and then Jason was denying it, but then it came out like when Jason was getting executed, it was true.
Yeah, like it was like the thing is about like Kenny, he was so crazy, nobody believed him, and the
All
one
right.
like the times that he was right, still nobody would believe him. Like,
Fuck.
like
Yeah.
what he was. Oh my god! Like one time, Kenny and Jason they got into an argument. I think it was about like when Jason was denying saying that on the bridge, and it just got to a point where half the people were just against Kenny, and eventually Kenny just lost it. It was crazy, honestly. But
Wow.
that's the thing with him. Sure, he was wrong a lot of the time, but when he was right, nobody would buy it.
All right.
Oh man. So what was his origins like? So he came out of Livonia. What happened in Livonia?
Yeah. So originally, he's from America. He lived with his family, and him and his wife separated. He was alone a lot of the time. He went to Livonia, just to get out of his troubles, really. And yeah, once everything happened, he just walked a lot, and eventually he found people. He found Gleniska, and Gleniska is without Gleniska, Kenny wouldn't really be the character that I think of him now. I wouldn't say it's the character that made Kenny great. It's just what happened around him. I guess it kind of shows that it's not about making the best character. It's about doing things to become the best character. It's if you get what I mean. It's what
Yeah.
happens to you along the way. Because if none of that happened, he'd be very different, obviously. But yeah, he went to Gleniska, grew up in the ranks there, and he was very loyal to his group, and he almost got killed for it a lot of times, and he outlived a lot of the members there. I think by the end there was only 4 people from Gleniska who ever made it to Chernarus.
Right.
But yeah, so
Cool. What happened there? What happened in Gleniska?
it was it was a lot of drama, to say the least. So you had the mayor, Jay, I think his name was. He got murdered, he got murdered by somebody, and nobody knew who it was. And even OOC, I can't remember who did it. I don't think I ever found out in character or out of character. So it was just I never knew what happened to him, but yeah. Yeah, and then I remember something happened with a character named Hero. He got murdered by another group, and then that started a big conflict. And yeah, Gleniska it faced a lot of troubles, but it stayed up even when the Enlightened came, the group of cannibals. Yeah, it stayed there, but it went through a lot of leaders and a lot of members. There was a new leader every week at one point.
Good
And
God.
Holy shit.
yeah, exactly. Kenny, at one point, he just because he had this thing where at the beginning he was alright. He was just more so, looking for. His main goal was to find his family. They were very, very far away, but he wanted that. And he thought Gleniska, if he could find people to help him do that. He thought maybe, these people can help me find my family. I'll stay here for a while. But eventually he came to the realization that his family is probably dead. All he has is Gleniska now. All he has is his people. So he's just gonna all he has to do is protect them now. But
Wow.
everything that happened with all the other groups, it sort of just broke him over time. And by the time because the freedom fighters, they pulled a raid on Gleniska. It was it was like a triple cross in a sense, because freedom fighter was invited to Gleniska by Kenny and a character named Rocco, and then because at that point Gleniska had fallen a lot, even before the raid. There was only 3 people in Gleniska at the time of that raid, people who lived there. Everybody else was dead. It was just Kenny, Rocco, and Ches. And Ches wanted to kill Rocco because he was sort of becoming a dictator, and Kenny was on the fence about helping him. But anyway, Rocco and Kenny, they invited a Freedom Fighter member to come. And I remember, so we invited this guy here, and I was hiding in the bushes because we were getting ready to hold him up. And I just remember looking down the road and seeing 7, 8, maybe 9 people come down the street. And I was I just thought in my head, okay, we're fucked. For what now? And then I didn't. They were like, "Oh, put your hands up." Started aiming guns. So Kenny ran inside, and like won. Kenny didn't really want to fight anybody. That wasn't really the goal. He didn't. I mean, sure, maybe execute a freedom fighter, but he wasn't planning on getting into any gunfights. So he says to Rocco, "Okay, what are we gonna do now?" And Rocco just bolts off and ditches him. Just hops the hop. Literally, Rocco, he betrays Kenny, jumps the fence, runs away, ends up getting killed by the freedom fighters, and Kenny he dashes, and eventually, like, it all died down, and he didn't know what to do. He lost everything. His home, his people, his friends. So he just decided to leave.
I
And,
guess that's probably when he
yeah.
started. That's kind of when we enter the Kenny we know, the one that's kind of
Yeah, he
already
was just...
mentally fucked up.
Exactly, like, he just lost everything. He was mentally gone by the time he got to Chinaris. So, yeah, that's basically what happened in Livonia.
That's loads of fun. That's loads of fun. That's so cool. Awesome. We didn't get too many stories from Contagion Livonia, honestly. So it's good to hear some of the stuff that went on there. Because there's a couple of characters that survived. But yeah, okay, so then Kenny, all right, so Kenny joins up with Jackson and then gets to Vanguard. How did you die? How did Kenny die?
Okay, so he's in the Vanguard and nobody likes him apart from like 3 people because he's just crazy. And Jack's #1 rule that we all know from the Vanguard: if you leave the Vanguard, you leave dead.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Kenny was planning. He had regained hope in a sense over the past few like months in game, and he thought, okay, I'm gonna go see if my family's still out there. Because there's a chance they could be, and it's going to be a long journey. But if I bring them back here to this wonderful community known as the Vanguard, with very kind people who won't murder you in your sleep, I'm gonna make a life for them here. So he says to Jack, "Hey man, I'm thinking of going out. I'll be back. I'm not leaving, but I'm gonna go find my family because they're probably still out there. I hope they're still out there." And I don't know what was going through his head, but it was probably something along the lines of, "Oh, Kenny's leaving the group. It's time to die." So, from what I know, because I still like, I kind of forgot most of it honestly, but I remember Xavier was, I think, a
Oh
relative.
yeah, that shrink
Therapist.
that came in same time as me.
Yes, he was like, he helped Kenny a lot, and Kenny began to trust him because he helped Kenny get over a lot of his problems and issues.
No
But
way.
then, yeah, and then he was like, "Okay, Kenny, you want to go on a run to Novi Sabor with me?" And Kenny said, "Okay, yeah." And the 2 biggest people in Kenny's story up until this point, people that were alive, was 2 characters named James and Alex or Alexander.
I remember James.
Yeah, and they were like brothers to Kenny. And I remember the final time he just said goodbye to James, said goodbye to Alex, and then he left with Xavier. So we get to Novi Sabor. And he takes, so there's a piano house near the barns in Novi Sabor. He takes me in there, and I just see 3 people come down the stairs with guns.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I think I do remember this.
Yes,
What
I
was
think,
it was Vivid Assassin and Jake from
It was,
yeah.
yeah, and Alexi.
Yeah, and I think, okay, shit, there's no running from this. I put my hands on my head hoping that I'll maybe survive this. They take me upstairs, and they torture Kenny. Like, they're playing this music, like this happy-go-lucky song, and they're stabbing him, shooting him, beating the living shit out of him.
Ah, no.
And they're like, all right, beg for your life. You want to live? You want to live? You want to live? And he's like, at first Kenny was saying, please don't kill me and stuff, but eventually he's just like, fuck you. And then they shot him in the chest, and he still didn't die.
Oh no.
And then Xavier looked at me. He was like, "Nah, it was my plan." He was like this mustache twirling villain. He was like, "It was my plan all along, Kenny. I'm a traitor. I'm with these guys." I know. And then
Bastard.
he pulls out. He shows me this gun. I think it was might have been an M4, but I don't know. I can't remember now. But he pulls out a really high-powered gun, and he pulls out a baseball bat, and he says, "Which one do you want?" And Kenny, being the
Oh.
tough bastard he is, he was like,
Picks the
"Give me the
bat.
bat, fuck you." And then, like, he just started, Xavier just started beating the shit out of Kenny. Then there was no more Kenny. His brains were part of the carpet then.
No.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
man.
like, honestly though, when it comes to his death, I'm kind of happy the way it played out. Like, I'm just glad because like there's a lot of other ways he could have died. He could have just got shot or something. But like they
Yeah, it
did
could
it
have
in an
been pointless.
interesting way. They like tortured him,
Yeah,
broke him
yeah.
even more.
You can pretty much count on Viv for decent torture, really. Like,
Yeah. Oh, one of the main things she practiced bloodletting on Kenny and cut him open and just let the blood drain out of him until I was on flashing blood OOC and they were like I passed out. They bandaged me up and they were like, okay, you're good now. You're cleansed. You're okay.
Kenny.
And Kenny was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Psychopaths.
He was just getting like it was so crazy though.
brilliant.
I remember, like, we were all at the base in Vanguard while that was happening. And then Xavier comes back and goes, yeah, I found Kenny's dead body. And we're like, what? And then we're following Xavier. And then we're like, I'm reading the Death Channel and it says Kenny beaten to death by a baseball bat. And I'm. And then you see the journals and shit.
Oh
And,
my god.
Oh
yeah.
no.
I can't remember how Xavier said it. Like, oh yeah, Kenny betrayed us, was gonna kill me, so we had to shoot him. But then you read his death
I
channel
do
and it
remember
says
something
beaten
like
to
that.
death by baseball bat.
Yeah.
Oh.
Fucking press X to doubt. Holy shit.
Jeez.
Wow. God
Uh,
damn. That was Vivian and Alexei? That was their characters, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What were they up to? Why did they go after you? What was the
I don't.
story?
I couldn't remember for the life of me. I like what. I'm pretty sure it was Jack telling them to do it, but
Oh,
I honestly,
really?
yeah, I didn't even know. Like just like the other thing in Clinique, I didn't know much OOC either. I was just they didn't.
Okay.
Basically, Xavier just said to Kenny, "Oh, fuck you, I'm a traitor, bitch," and then he killed. Then they just happened.
guess
Wow.
so. Yeah.
God damn. That's epic.
Fuck.
Holy shit. Okay,
Because that was
so,
the
and
that was the
then,
one time, and I'll shut up about that. But that was the one time I I mentioned it before, where I sat in a bush with Jack and Blake for 5 hours in game, waiting for Xavier to wake back up. But it was
oh
right
shit,
after,
yeah.
yeah, because he had to go to sleep on the way to finding Kenny's body.
Oh dear. Okay.
But that was then it came out. Yeah, Kenny wasn't entirely crazy. He was telling the truth about Jason.
Yeah.
Wow. I love that. You can't write that shit, man, honestly. That is so fun.
Yeah.
That's so fun. Who were you straight after Kenny then? Did you go straight into the McCarthys? Or what was the
Uh,
story there?
that's when I started playing Philip, um, and who would later become part of the McCarthys, but that was not really the original idea for Philip,
Okay.
actually. He
Okay.
started off, um, so backstory on Philip, he was a mechanic, and basically him and his family went to Chinaris, and everything happened, and his family got killed by bandits, and the whole idea of Philip, his character, was that instead of using that loss to strengthen him and make him a better person, he just used it against himself. It made him a worse person.
Oh dear.
It made him selfish, angry, bitter, everything like that. So, yeah, he just, oh, thank you. Yeah, he built up a little mini empire in the ski resort in the Stock, I think it was.
Oh, I was
The
there for a little bit of
Foundation,
that.
right?
Yes, I
Foundation.
remember that.
I
Yeah,
remember
the
that so
foundation.
well. Oh man, so after Wyla escaped fucking Vanguard, she went up and hid with you guys for a little bit. I
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
forgot
what she
all
was hiding.
about that. I forgot all about that. Wow, cool. Uh-oh, you
yeah,
alright?
and yeah. So everything happened there, and then that's when Philip. Thing is, Philip, like, he was a man with a lot of ambitions, but the, I'm kind of glad his plans didn't go to plan though, because his original idea was he went down to the bar, and his main ambition, he wanted to get an M16 because he just loves his M16s. But he talked to Sean McCarthy, the owner of the bar, and he said, I want to start an alliance. I want to take over Cherno and make it into one big empire, one big city. And that would have been cool. Would have been laggy, but it would have been cool. But
Yeah.
eventually it more or less just turned into Philip being Sean's bitch. But besides the point. Originally, the idea was to get a bunch of groups together: the Order, the McCarthys, the Foundation, maybe even Electro PD, and make this big, big group. Um, so yeah, and it was going to plan, but then it went off plan, and eventually Philip became loyal to the McCarthys, and one of his main men was named Rick. Um,
I
and
remember.
yeah, it was one of the first people Philip met. Philip fucked him over quite a lot.
Weird.
Um, and Philip played a lot of mind games with Rick because he was just once Rick was no use to him, he sort of broke him. He kept breaking him so Rick would remain loyal to Philip. Like one big thing about Rick's character, he was looking for his son Bobby, and to like break him, Philip said that, Philip just made up lies about how he found Bobby dead and like Bobby was gone and just like breaking this man for like, no reason other than to make him more loyal to the cause.
Wow.
Yes,
Bastard.
exactly. And yeah, and then like the whole thing with the family happened, the cannibals, and there was like this big thing with taking down the nomads.
Oh yeah.
The people who took out the Vanguard. Now, if I was Kenny, I'd be cheering them on, but now I'm Philip. We're going after them. So we make this big elaborate plan to go after them, and there was loads of us. I remember the legendary Tim Gage was there, and we were all going after them. Went up there, and like I had Philip actually gained a bit of attachment along the way in the McCarthy family. He met a kid named Quentin, and they actually became quite close. And yeah, Philip always carried around this pistol. It was a Colt 1911, and he gave it to Quentin. He was if we don't make it out of here, just carry this, keep it with you. So they go over to Vibor Industrial, and long story short, nomads were not there for the battle, so we ended up scrapping it, and we went back. And yeah, things kept on going. The family kept on plotting, and yeah, then the castle fight came,
Yeah.
and I was not part of that as Philip, but I'd
Oh.
heard some crazy things, and yeah, apparently it went down. But after that, Sean disappeared, and
Yup.
Philip got kind of pissed, and Rick disappeared, and Philip got kind of pissed. And
All
then a lot
right.
of people disappeared, and Philip got
Yeah.
very pissed. So he made up this, and then that was when also Fat Santa Max
Yes.
he joined the McCarthy family permanently, and he had this thing. I can't remember if he was elected leader or if he made himself. I'm pretty sure he was elected though. But Philip really wanted to get back into that leadership position. Like the foundation was long gone, but he wanted to feel that power again. So he took Max on a drive.
Okay.
And oh yeah, I forgot to mention Quentin did die in the castle raid. So
Okay.
that kind of messed Philip up as well. That's what caused him to go back into his descent into power and madness.
Okay.
So he takes Max up this dark, dingy road. It's sunset. They get out, and Philip's like, Max, I want the crown. And Max is like, well, what do you mean? He says, I want to lead the McCarthys. I'm better at it than you are. I can do it. He's just giving like Max's fucking slideshow presentation on how he's a better leader. And he says, I can do this, man. I'm better than you. And he grips his pistol out of the holster. And I was like, Philip was ready to kill Max in this moment. But then, like, Philip, his character, he got to a point where, like, it wasn't crazy, but he was going there. He grew like one little bit of attachment because he lost his daughter before everything that happened. He lost it to bandits, but he saw Quentin as like a son, and then he lost him as well. And he spared Max's life because something in him, he just wouldn't let him put that gun up.
Wow.
And then he drives up to like the rotting doors of the Foundation. Max drops him off, drove somewhere else, and he just kicked down the doors, figuratively, and then went in, looked, reminisced about everything that happened, and he made one final tape, and he got ready to leave the country. But then something in him changed.
Oh, sorry.
But yeah, something in him changed. He was like getting ready to leave the country. He was pretty far gone. But then he heard news on the radio of an attack happening. And he heard that Max was there. He radioed Max and he said, what the hell's happening? And Max informed him. And then he just thought, when he needed to prove himself to Quentin that he could be better, that he was better.
Oh no.
And then he ran back there, and I think it was like the Nomads were doing something, and Jackson was there, and he went back, and this is where it gets a bit wacky, I'm not gonna lie. He goes in there, and everybody's happy. He's like, oh, Philip, mate, you're back. It's nice to see you, man. And Jackson and Philip introduce each other, and then this bounty hunter guy comes in, and he says, hey guys, quickly, I need to read off a list of names that I've been assigned to kill. Just tell me if you know any of them. So this guy, Philip Blake, is he here? And then everybody looks at me, and I say, whoa, what is this? And they say, oh, you threatened Catalina, you need to die. Because earlier on, he was like, oh, I'll kill that cannibal if I need to, no biggie. Like, as an offhanded comment. And it came back to bite him later. And he just...
Eric.
Yep.
Oh man, that's so funny. Oh no. Yeah, that was Eric that fucking... That was Eric that read off that list. And that hit was put out by me. Yeah. By Kat.
Yeah.
So what happened right after that? So the list is read out. Everybody looks at you.
But they look at me. They tie me up, point guns in my face, and Jackson was hesitant at first. Like, what did he do? He threatened Catalina. Put your fucking hands up now. You're gonna die. I was like, so yeah. Marcus went on. Oh no, I've been calling him Max the whole time. His name was Marcus, wasn't it?
It was Marcus.
Yeah, Max was Gleniska. Okay. Yeah, so Marcus went on this whole monologue, and they eventually just shot Philip in the face. And yeah, that was the end of Philip.
And it wasn't quite the whole end. Catalina did eat you.
God.
Wait, what? Wait, what? I never heard of this.
Catalina ate your body, man. They saved it for me. I was like, yes!
Oh. Right.
Cooked him up and fed him to people at a party. Didn't feed him to people. No. Just offered him.
Oh.
There was a couple other cannibals around. We were all friendly at the time, but there was a crate of Philip at one of Kat's parties.
Jeez. Okay, well that's right. Okay.
Awkward.
That's new. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, but
I was quite proud of that, actually. I was like really like glad that I got to eat Philip because you were one of the only people who ever like really threatened Kat.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the end of Philip. Then I
Yeah.
think I had one final character before Lonely Roads. It
You
was
were
Hunter.
Hunter, yeah.
Yep. He was originally like a throwaway, I guess. I got more attached to him as time came on, but yeah, didn't last that long, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah,
I
there's
remember
not
we used to be sitting around the campfire in Kat's
uh
house, and then we just hear clapping
yes.
outside. We're like, "Oh, Hunter's
Yeah,
here."
yeah. And like yeah, there's not much really happened to him, I guess, but he mostly hung out near the Oasis and near Kat's house and stuff. And then Catalina was murdered,
Hmm.
and and then everybody, like, there was this whole debate on whether or not it was Blevin was his name.
Yeah,
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 Blevin
Kevin.
slash Kevin.
yeah, and didn't it end up being Kevin and not Blevin?
It was Kevin. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
Kevin.
so yeah, because Hunter accused Blevin of doing it, and
Mm.
then that's when they I think, and then another, like, a couple characters, they brought me out into like the woods near a house, got me on my knees, like put your hands up and stuff, and they take me into an interrogation greenhouse, as I like to call it, and this guy is like I can't remember the name of the character, but played by Dr. Makarov now, but
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
yeah, he pulls me into the interrogation greenhouse and he goes, "Were you lying about? Have you falsely accused Blevin of killing Catalina?"
Mm.
And Hunter was trying to say no, and he was trying to like she was trying to like they gotta say, "Can I have some paper? I'll tell you what happened." But
Oh
like,
yeah, yeah. Hunter
yeah,
was mute for anybody who doesn't
oh
Hey.
yeah,
understand.
yeah, he
Yeah,
was
yeah,
mute. He
yeah.
couldn't speak at all, and then the guy mistook it and he was like, "So you did falsely accuse him? You're a sinner!" And then he fucking slashed Hunter to death.
Jeez.
No.
Yeah, that's the thing. Hunter like died, and he didn't really deserve it. You know, he didn't
No,
do
he
anything.
didn't. He
That's
didn't.
yeah, he couldn't talk. He couldn't
Ah,
protect himself. Uh,
did.
And that was
yeah.
the
Oh, poor
last time I
Hunter.
played a mute character. I did.
Yeah, yeah.
The unlucky.
Jeez. Yeah. Oh.
I think I saw Hunter as Nasa just before you died as well. Like I remember Makarov taking you off, or whoever his cannibal character was called. I can't remember. It was after Jackson was dead. Can't remember what his new character was called either. But yeah, he like took you off, and I was worried. I was kind of like, should we be worried about that or whatever? And he just never turned back up.
Yep.
It was concerning.
Yeah, but God, jeez.
That's fun. Okay, cool. So then, like, I suppose, like, end of iteration event, did you take part in that? Or,
I took part in the Afterlife event and I
mm-hmm.
played Kenny again.
Cool, yeah. That's
Yeah.
fun. Oh,
Mm.
man.
Yeah, I enjoyed the Afterlife event. It was sort of like I sort of did it as a non-canon event, like a non-canon way to end off Kenny's story, because like canonically he's fucking dead, he's gone. But in this little make-believe version, he has like some closure. He got to meet Rocco, who betrayed him, and
Oh, shit.
they had a nice little conversation about life, and then Rocco just walked off into the darkness, and
Oh.
yeah, and Kenny just reminisced on all of his moments, walked into the light, and there you go.
Yeah. I remember
That's
So,
you making a
cool.
series of videos about that, the afterlife of Kenny.
sorry, could you repeat that?
Ah, I remember you making a series of videos about the
Yeah, yeah, there's
afterlife.
three parts. Yeah. No, the thing about it was I enjoyed the actual getting to the party, but the build up was the best for me because it was about getting, because like I remember Hardy just fucking shot himself to get there, but like
Wow.
the rest of us, like we just wanted to walk there for some reason, but I would have probably done the same, just got there and then did it, but like it was who I was with. I was with I was with Vivian,
Yeah.
who killed Kenny.
Mm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it would just make for better story if we got there together. And yeah, we went from the Oasis all the way down to the island. So yeah,
That's
it was
cool.
good.
Yeah, cool. Oh man. Oh, that's so fun. Holy shit. I'll have to go back and watch those videos. I just don't feel like I have any time to watch any of these videos. It's terrible. Okay, so, and in the prologue, were you around for the prologue then?
Nah, I wish I was. I sort of took a break from Daisy then. Nah, I wasn't around for the
Yeah.
prologue.
Okay, and then you came straight into the new iteration of Dean Ford, didn't you?
Yep, yep.
Right, I want to hear, because I've been fucking waiting to hear all this shit about, because I only very briefly really knew Dean Ford. But you were such a fucking major player in the North for so long, and I just want to know, like, what in God's name happened up there with, like, Frenchie and the tower and everything, and Freedom slash Camp Grace and all the rest. Like, what happened? Please.
Okay. Okay. This is a long one. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Right. So we start off Dean Ford. He's an ex-con man from LA, and he's like selfish, looks out for number one. Not Philip levels of bad guy, but he's more of just like he just looks out for number one. He doesn't really care about other people. He just wants to do his own thing. And originally he wanted to get a helicopter up and running and get the fuck out of Chernarus. But
Right.
that's when he came across the castle.
Oh, Devil's
And
Castle.
yeah, Devil's Castle.
Okay, cool.
And yeah, he came across the castle and he met Rachel, the woman who was running it, and he met a lot of friends there. And eventually, he earned the respect of them and he started to stay there. And you know, first of all, he was like, "Okay, guys, I'm gonna stay here, but I'm gonna get out eventually." And then it sort of degraded over like the next 2 weeks to, "Guys, I think I have a life here." Because I mean, he sort of lost not hope, but he just sort of gave up on trying to get out of Chernarus. He thought, "Well, I'm here. Fuck it. Let's do this." So things were going good in the castle. Then don't know if you heard in the Wolves. There was a lot of drama with that group up
Yeah.
north. Yes, ended up dying. And that was when things started to go off the rails. Like traitors started to appear, and Dean was just trying to figure out where he stood in all of this. Like he was trying to figure out where he stood in the grand scheme of things. Did he wanna stay loyal to his group and fight in a war potentially, or did he just want to go back to his old ways and get the fuck out of there? And eventually, he decided to stay. And he met a very, very close friend there. I wouldn't say he was 16. His name was Sean, played by Teacup or Max now,
Yeah.
and they became quite close. Went on runs and stuff. It was sort of like a big brother, little brother relationship, if you know what I mean. And yeah, things were good. And then that's when the whole Christian Scout drama happened, where a lot of people thought that Rachel's brother Christian
Yeah.
killed Rachel's fiance Scout, and
Yeah.
then nobody knew what the hell was happening. And Rachel, she took everybody who she trusted and left Dean, and she was like, "Dean, I'm sorry, I don't trust you. You can't come with us. You're sorry, you're on your own." And honestly, Dean would be dead. Dean would have died a lot sooner if he went with Rachel, because I mean that she didn't last long. Not many people in her group did either. So she left Dean, and yeah, he just ran off, did his own thing. Got a car for a while, that was cool. And then he found his way to where he would later make the refuge. Where in character, it was an old business spot that he would go to, where he knew a lot of people there. So he started to get walls up and running, and then
That was a
he was
big
doing.
ass. That was a big base.
Oh, yeah, it took a while, to say the least. Biggest base I've ever built on Daisy, I think. But yeah, we ended up making that, and yeah, also during like the Dean times when I start uploading, promotion content a lot more. Like for Dean, I wanted to go for more of a series rather than just clips of random events, you know. And yeah, he did his thing for a while, and that's when he met some people, key people in his story. He met Joel, Eugenio, and James.
Hmm.
And around this time, Dean was in a church, and he got news that Sean died because Rachel
Oh.
didn't take him with her. And Sean was with this doctor named Dr. Morris, and they were in Bible near a little, probably not well-known trade called the Bushman trade. I don't know if you've heard of him, but yeah. And then Sean ended up dying, and that kind of really hurt Dean. But he got on with it eventually, got past his grief, and yeah, he started to build up better relationships with all of his people, got more people, and then he met a group of 5 that wanted to join the refuge. And this was a big thing for Dean. 5 people, it's a lot of people, he thought. So he goes over to them. Little did he know this was the biggest mistake he'd make. End up costing him his life.
Oh
You'd
no.
meet Drake, Dakota,
Okay.
Victoria, Augustus, and Leo, I think there was as well.
Okay.
So he meets these characters, and he was already a bit suspicious of Drake because Drake, the character of Drake, his whole thing was he thinks he's in a TV show.
Oh.
But the
Oh.
thing is with him, it went deeper though. It went even deeper than that. Later on, his whole character would be he's trying to make people think he's stupid by thinking he's in a TV show when actually he knows what's going on, but is suppressing what's going on. But when he wants to come out and do shit, he's gonna do shit. He was like
Cool.
the best twist villain I've ever seen, honestly. But
Cool.
yeah, it was really cool. But yeah, things went all right, and then that's when the party at Metallic happened. Shortly before as well, Dean and a couple others went down and actually met Norman and Emily, and they sort of formed that relationship with the group there. And then yeah, the party happened, and that's where the drama starts to get a bit more intense.
Oh shit.
It's to do with stolen MVGs. Drake,
Oh, no.
along the way back from the party, made a joke about stealing MVGs from the Bushman. And he
Okay.
didn't actually steal any, but he made a joke about it. And everybody was like, oh, cool, as long as you didn't actually steal any, we're all good. And then Bushman comes to our doors a few days later, he's like, somebody stole my MVGs.
Oh shit.
Who did it? I want to know who stole my MVGs, Dean. You and your people were the only ones near my truck. So who did it? And Dean was like, well, nobody did it. And it turns out nobody actually took the MVGs from him. He was just a liar. But Dean was like, Drake, did you take the MVGs? Because you made a joke about doing it. And Drake said, no, I didn't take them. And that's when Drake and Dean, they started to become less and less friends, starting to become less trusting with each other. And yeah. Then the drama started to get real when Mr. French and Bushman, they fell out, and French came to Dean about killing Bushman, and Bushman came to Dean about killing French.
Oh shit.
And he went to a whole meeting with the leader of Camp Grace, Lenny, and Bushman, and he had to make a decision. Do I side with French and kill Camp Grace and the Bushman, or do I side with the other two and kill French? Eventually, he went with French because it was revealed to him that Bushman was trying to snake Dean and take the refuge from him. But yes, they got Bushman cornered, and Dean, this was more of a turning point in his character because he'd never killed somebody before, or at least assisted in the kill. He'd always stayed out of it, just try to do his own thing, make a peaceful community. But this time he had to get into it. He was forced to. So, he was the one who said, well, put your hands up, man. I don't want to do this, just put your hands up. And then they did the countdown, and Bushman died due to firing squad. And that was also when another key character for Dean showed up, Dingo.
I never met Dingo.
He was so good. He was amazing. He had the best voice ever. I commend Teacup for doing that voice. It must have killed his vocal cords, honestly. But yeah, he just had this scratchy voice. Dingo was an Australian who never took his hockey mask off because he didn't. I don't know. Dean always said Dingo was insecure about his face, but I'm pretty sure there was other reasons. But
Okay.
yeah. So killed Bushman, and then French and Dean started to get closer. Then that's when Drake, conveniently only now just revealed to Dean, "Oh, Dean, I'm best friends with the Tower. They're a really cool group." And Dean never heard of the Tower up until this point. And
Right.
the Tower come to visit, all like 89 of them. And and Dean was, a bit intimidated, not gonna lie. And then they say, French, he isn't who he seems. He might be nice to you, but he's not a good guy. Then Dean goes to French and he's like, "These Tower people, then they seem nice, but they're not good guys." Dean's just getting lied to left, right, and center. And then Dean sides with French at first. He's like, "We're gonna kill because Dean's kind of cocky and he doesn't know that, these guys aren't to be fucked with. And he goes, and these were real words that came out of Dean's mouth at some point when he met me. He's like, "If we gotta kill the Tower, then we're gonna kill all the Tower." Not knowing what the fuck he was talking about. And then it ended up being so that the Tower killed French, and Dean was sort of backed into a corner, so he changed his mind and he was like, "I hate French, let's be friends." and they wanted to be friends, so the Tower and Dean started to have a close relationship due to Drake's affiliations with them. And then things started to grow in the refuge, more people started to come in, and then the Black Hand appeared in the mist.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the Black Hand, it was the downfall for the refuge.
Okay.
Because it turns out, these Russian people come to Dean's door one day, and they say, "Dean, somebody in your group is not what they seem. I don't know their name, but somebody you've known for a long time is about to fuck you over. You need to get your ass straight." And he's like, "Okay, yeah, whatever." Not really trusting anybody else other than his own people after everything that happened with French and Bushman. And then he takes, he wants to have a little meeting with Rick and Joel. And Joel, he's known for a long, long time. Like, first three members, the OG three in the refuge, takes them upstairs and they're like, "What are we gonna do? Okay, there could be a Black Hand member in here. What the fuck are we gonna do? We need to figure something out." And then the conversation goes on for a bit more. And Joel, he utters these famous lines. He says, "Dean, I get what you're saying, I really do. But you see, death, though it's not pretty, it's the right thing that needs to happen." And he pulls out his gun, and me and Rick just bolt for the fucking door, and shit goes down, get into a firefight, and then, Dean gets, absolutely destroyed. Rick, he actually came out of it quite unscathed, I'm not gonna lie, but Joel managed to escape the compound, and it turns out 4 other members in the refuge were also Black Hand informants.
Wow.
So Joel and Eugenio, were 2 of the original members, were part of the Black Hand the entire time. Watched the refuge. Oh yeah, watched the refuge grow. Went to Metalurg and met you 2.
Yeah.
And then it all came crumbling down. And from that, Dean sustained a lot of permanent injuries. Orbital in his eye. Fuck, he basically was blind in one eye. And he got pretty fucked up, I'm not gonna lie, from that fight. And that's when Crazy Dean started to come out.
Oh no.
This was a different Dean, and he started to get mad at people. He beat one of his people half to death for questioning his morals,
Oh dear.
and he pointed a gun in another guy's face for parking the truck in the wrong place. I know. And then one day he just if you think he was bad then, he actually snapped at one point. A man who later turned out to be Black Hand, his name was Dr. Saint. He had been hiding a truck without Dean's knowledge, and he was hiding it for himself in case the refuge ever got screwed over and fell. And Dean just went on this whole speech about how, like, why the fuck are you hiding things from us? We're a family. We don't take from each other. And then, like, everybody's like, Dean, what the fuck's up with you? You're going a bit crazy. And then, like, one of the most famous refuge moments, he pulls out his pistol and he just starts pointing guns at people, being like, he's just like, who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? I built this place. Fuck you. And then he goes over to where Bushman was shot down, and he's like, hey, Bushman, how do you feel about this? Do you think they're fucking stupid? I think they're fucking stupid. And then he just starts fucking unloading mags and mags into Bushman's grave. And then, like, he just looks back to everybody, and nobody's talking. Everybody's just silent. And yeah, there was a lot of theft in the refuge at this point, because the refuge, in the beginning it was okay, but towards the end it got very corrupt. And Drake's M4 had got stolen, so Drake was pissed. And Dean he just went on this one last speech before he went away and hid. He was like, you know, guys, if you're going to come crying to me about all your stuff being taken, and about how you don't want them to be stolen by these stupid bandits roaming our walls, then just do something, don't come to me. And at that point, everybody agreed Dean can't be the leader anymore. He's kind of fucking insane now. And yes, that's when the growing untrust between Drake and Dean started to come to a head, because Drake really wanted to be leader. He thought he was a better leader than Dean, and he thought he could run the place better. And that's also when he started to kill a lot of people from the refuge behind Dean's back. Anybody that disagreed with Dean that wasn't Dean, he killed. Yeah, people started to get suspicious of Drake, but he had such a good story that people just started to trust him again. And Dean,
So,
like, well,
hold on. He killed people that disagreed with Dean to make it look like Dean was killing people?
oh, so what would happen is, Drake respected Dean, but he also really didn't like Dean. So he didn't want to kill Dean yet. But anybody who disrespected Drake or didn't like Drake's ideas, Drake would have them dead within a week.
Right, okay, I see.
Yeah.
I thought for a second you were saying he was,
Yeah.
that would have been so clever.
Yeah, nobody suspected him though, that's the thing. And then, that's when the battle for the refuge happened, the big final event in the refuge's story. The Black Hand came and attacked the refuge. And at this point, Dean had just met up back with Dr. Morris, the man who was with Sean when he was killed, one of the only original members from the castle. And Dr. Morris had joined the refuge, and they were out on a run. They were going to Metalurg to say hi to Amelie, and they got a transmission like, Dean, get your ass up here, we're all dying. This is not good. Fucking, like...
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it turns out, like, Leo, which was like a son to Drake, Leo was like 16, he ran up the stairs and just got mag dumped.
Oh, no.
And, like, Drake was just, like, dying inside, man. Dean, just get the fuck up here now. So they get it, it's Dean and Dr. Morris, they get up there, and the fight's going on for a long time. They're sniping back and forth at each other. And they get up to the doors, and Dean's like, Joel, you don't have to do this, man. Like, you just don't. And Joel's like, is this too late for this, Dean? You're fucked, man. We're gonna kill you all. The Black Hand reigns supreme.
Oh,
And
my God.
yeah, it was intense. And the tower was here as well. Like, they were helping us.
Okay.
And everybody thought it was quiet. It was very quiet, you know. We all went into the house. Where the fuck are they? And then we're just thinking, okay, what the hell happened? Is everybody okay? And from behind us, we hear shots. And like 15 different Vega shots. None of them hit us. So, whoever was shooting had very terrible aim. But, like, somebody kept on trying to shoot us with a Vega. So Dean just peeked around a corner and saw somebody with a Vega, and he just put a mag into them. And that marked Dean's first, like, he'd helped kill a lot of people. He'd helped kill, in a way, Frenchie. He'd helped kill Bushman. But he never actually was the actual cause for somebody's death. But when he killed that person with his rifle, that marked the first kill he had.
Okay.
So eventually, everybody died. Joel, Huge, all of them were gone, wiped them out. And kind of hurt Dean because he had to kill his best friend, essentially.
Yeah.
Joel had been with him since the beginning. He just had to betray him. So, yeah, then the refuge was in shambles, and they went, and then Dean, Victoria, and James. And James was one of Dean's only close friends. They were going to go on a run in a week, but before that, Dingo, which was very, as well as that, very close with Dean. I think Dingo and James were the two people Dean trusted most. Dingo threatened to kill Drake because he was like, Drake's a bastard, man, he needs to die. But Dean, he was torn because he thought Drake was bad as well. But if he was wrong, that was the end for Dean. He'd be screwed. So he had to side with Drake in the end. And he said, Dingo, if you're gonna kill Drake, I'm gonna kill you. And he informed Dr. Makarov that Dingo's gone rogue, and Makarov, Dingo ended up dying to the tower. He had to turn himself in, otherwise somebody very important to Dingo's character, Georgia, would have been killed.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, so
Right, okay.
Dingo,
Wow.
Dingo and Dean had one last standoff at the refuge, and then Dingo was like, you killed me, man, I'm gonna die today. And he left, never to come back. But
Wow.
yeah, and
Ouch.
yeah, but moving towards the final days of Dean, him, Victoria, and James went on this big run with a neighboring small group of 3, and they had a very good time. They were just singing songs around the campfire, and Dean and Victoria were bonding as well because they had never really seen eye to eye on many things. They just wanted to survive together. But yeah, they started to become quite friendly with each other, and then that's when Dean was informed by Dr. Morris that he had an infection. And it was pretty bad, and he might live. And Dean was like, yeah, I mean, I might live, but do I want to live with what's going on? And eventually, Dean probably could have pulled through, would have, but my original plan was Dean was going to shoot himself. He was going to end it all. Because of everything that happened, he just wanted to leave the refuge in Drake's hands because he trusted Drake. But that's why he went to see Amelie one last time. Because she wasn't aware that was the last time they were ever going to talk, but
No.
he was.
Oh,
And,
no.
Yeah, he was just wanted to see them one last time, Metallurg, and then he left, and that's when he got back. Dakota had recently, he's been recovering from his wounds sustained at the Battle of the Refuge, and they were like, and Victoria, who's close to Dean now, she was a detective before everything, and she said, you know what, let's put this to the test once and for all. Let's see if Drake actually did this. Let's investigate the barn, because the barn was quite famous. It was near Staria, and that's where Dingo accused Drake of killing Augustus, and where he was going to kill Scout, which were 2 of our members. So Victoria and Dean went over to the barn. They were investigating it, just looking for clues, Scooby-Dooing everything. And then Drake and Dakota showed up. And Drake was like, no, you don't look in the barn, man, don't look in the barn. And Dean was like, shut the fuck up, we're going in the barn, whether you like it or not. And he was like, don't go in the barn, man, you can't go in the barn. And Dean was like, why the fuck can't we go in the barn? And he said, well, because bad things happen in the barn. All 3 of them pull out guns like, get on your fucking knees, Dean! Get on your fucking knees! And Dean's just surprised as fuck because Victoria has a gun, Dakota has a gun, Drake has a gun.
No.
And he doesn't know what the hell to do. And, like, shit just escalates and escalates. And, like, James had recently went to sleep before this. And I don't know what would have happened if James was there. But it probably would have gone very differently. But
Oh.
uh, Dean was trying to reason with him and stuff, and he wasn't going his way. And the moment Dean pulled out his gun, shots started to fire. They fired shots at him. He fucking ran, and like they were just doing like ring around the rosies around the barn, just doing loops and loops. And Dean didn't want to pull the trigger at all, not on Victoria, because like he liked it, man. She was cool, but he did it, and he may have gone a bit too far. He sort of like put about 20 bullets into her. I don't know. I don't know why I thought of doing that. I mean, I think Drake was the bigger threat here, but that's besides the point. So
Just easier
yeah,
to kill Joella in any really situation, you know.
yeah, but then Drake and Dean saw each other, and then like that one final stare down, and Drake raised his gun up, shot Dean, and like he fucked Dean up pretty good, but then Dean ended up getting the victory over Drake and just killed him then and there, and then he thought, oh fuck, I'm safe, I'm safe. Oh shit, Dakota's alive. And then he runs around the forest, he's shouting Dakota's name, because he wasn't sure. Like, Dakota never showed any signs that he'd betray him. Dakota and Dean were good friends. And then he's running in the forest, he's shouting Dakota's name, saying, oh, we can talk about this, man, it doesn't have to be this way. And then he sees Dakota in the corner of his eye with a shotgun, and he shoots Dean in the legs, breaking both of his legs. And Dean falls down, and like, Dakota takes one last look at him. Dean goes to shoot Dakota, but then he just hears the sound of an empty magazine, and he can't do shit. And then he just looks up at Dakota. He's like, man, I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to kill them. And Dakota's just like, I don't care. And he kills Dean.
Oh.
It was really like a fucking long live the king moment, man. And the weird thing about this as well, like, Dean's death was covered up so well.
Yeah, nobody
It
knew
was
what happened. He
it
just
was
kind of disappeared.
so it was amazingly covered up because I ran into Dakota as Poe, and eventually I got to know his past, and like he covered up Dean's death very well, like because
Yeah.
he made himself out to be the good guy. He made it the situation he made was that Drake and Victoria tried to hold Dakota and Dean up, and Dakota and
Right.
Dean fought them off, but Dean died. So yeah,
Ah,
he's
Huh.
covered up everything, and that character is still alive to this day, and it's crazy, man. But yeah,
Is he still playing?
he's still
No
around.
way.
It's crazy.
Wow, that's fun.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
I think like one of the only members of the refuge left, and
Huh.
yeah, that's how Dean and the refuge died, I guess. That's how it all went.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a very interesting story, I guess.
Damn,
yeah, for
yeah.
sure. Good God.
Hmm.
I had no idea. Yeah, that's why we do this, because you just get these revelations of like, holy crap.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, listen, unless you're like friends with people and you talk and party chat, like, or play different games together, you're just never going to get these details of like what happens. Like, it's so much fun. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Shit,
it's
man.
crazy.
Wow, okay. And
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, I'm still kind of reeling from that because you were just there. You were just there the day before, and then you were dead, and I was like, holy shit.
Exactly. Like,
Oh man.
it's very
Okay.
sudden.
Wow.
It's funny how the way they made it seem though. We're covering it
Yeah.
up, and so it's actually a
Oh
good
yeah.
Why did
idea.
Victoria want to kill you? Yeah, what was the? Oh man, that's.
I don't know.
I suppose
Drake
it
had
was
it.
all Black Hand
Yeah.
kind of stuff, wasn't it? Was it?
Uh,
Or
I think it was like I think once the Black Hand died, Drake sort of put his plans into motion. Because he was separate from the Black Hand. He had his own motivations, and he had
right.
Victoria and Dakota wrapped around his finger, and that's how he convinced
Okay.
them to try kill Dean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bastard. God, that's fun.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
I don't know how much you want to talk about Monroe now because he's still ongoing, and we generally don't necessarily want to ask people about their current character unless there's like storylines that have kind of wrapped up already. Do you know what I mean? Whoops. Um, so I don't know if you have anything you want to reveal about Monroe, or is he still like a man of mystery at the moment? By
I
the way, as well,
mean,
I want to say this while I have a chance. I did not know that you were not American for a long time. I didn't
oh,
know until today. I didn't know until I thought you were American.
oh, really?
Yeah, no, you do a really good accent.
Oh,
So
thanks.
hats off,
But
hats off.
Yeah,
But
so,
I thought Monroe was actually you doing an
I thought
oh,
he was. I thought it was a
American
fake
trying to
accent. Me
do
too.
English accent.
Yeah.
oh,
British
right.
accent.
Oh
I was like,
my
wow, he's
God.
really good at that English accent.
Uh,
Fuck. So
Yeah,
yeah, okay. So anything you can tell about Monroe at the moment, I don't know. You don't have to, because I know that's sensitive. But
yeah, but I guess I can say a bit about Monroe because like, a couple of his storylines per se have sort of wrapped up now. You know, a little backstory about him. He is a doctor. He used to specialize in surgery, but you know, some things led up where he accidentally failed the surgery, botched it pretty bad, and ended up moving into science a lot, and became pretty good in his field. And then he got taken into a bunker. And the thing about Monroe was he had split personality.
oh,
well, okay.
Monroe has split personality.
Everybody, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Everybody's so used to just they stop talking when the blackout,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
on the podcast.
Always
But
failing.
It's like a knee-jerk reaction. Oh, I gotta stop talking now. Here's the blackout.
but yeah, he has split personality, and there was two sort of sides to him. There was the side of like, because he started to really change after he botched up that surgery, and like you know, as somebody would, and it wasn't sort of like a always switching type of thing. It was more of a, for a long time he stayed in one state, but then his like another version of him would come out, and like the state, like the version he was, like the type of person he was when he originally was in the bunkers and came out for the first couple of weeks. Um, didn't really have a name. I just referred to him as Dr. Monroe, and then I referred to the other one as Gareth. But like Dr. Monroe, he's focused on his work. He will do anything to like make sure he gets the research done and makes Chinaris a better place, quotation marks. And he's just very work driven, and yeah, he can get very frustrated and very like hell bent on revenge if anybody wrongs him. But like
Okay.
he had this whole moniker about him where like he pretended to be really nice, this nice posh doctor who nobody would ever hurt because he's so lovely, and like he's just wandering around Chinaris picking up rotten daisies, doing his thing, and that's when like the other side of him started to come through, the side that like he didn't want to hurt people, he didn't want to, he just wanted to forget all the pain he had, and yeah, his story was really about like learning to overcome that, trying to be a better person, and then yeah, I mean now he's sort of just still going on, you know. I guess that's all I can really
Yeah,
say.
I did want to ask you because it's been a few weeks now, so I don't know how relevant it is still today. But I was running around and somebody told me in game that Dr. Monroe wanted to get put inside of a box and tortured, or
Oh God, here we go. All right, so it's complicated. So, so the Gareth side of him was talking to his two close friends, Alan and Valeria or Knox, and he was like, "Listen, okay, I've tried everything, but like this other part of me, he just wants to kill everybody. So I have a plan, okay?" And this was mostly his delusions talking. It wasn't any real medical knowledge, but he was like, I want you to just fuck me up so bad that I don't want to do bad things anymore. I want you to beat the shit out of me. I want you to fucking do anything you can. I want you to shoot me. I want you to stab me. Like, I just want you to, like, make it so, like, I don't want to be bad anymore. Like, it was a stupid thing to, it was a strange thing to ask. But, like, he was just so, like, desperate. That he just went, like, please. I just want to, like, just hurt me. I just fucking, just beat the shit out of me.
Well, it made a huge impact because I was just running around randomly and just ran into two random strangers, and like 5 minutes
No.
later, they're talking about Dr. Monroe. What? Wanting to get tortured.
That's so
Yes.
funny.
I was like, well, all right. Like, I didn't even mention your name, and they just brought it up. I was like, oh, okay. I think it was, do you know
Yeah.
any doctors? Well,
Yeah. Yeah, that he I don't know how long he would have stayed like that though, but he sort of like he went back into reality when shit started to happen. I won't get into too much, but stuff happened around Camp Freedom, and yeah, he realized he needed to like sharpen up, and he realized he was on the run now. People were after him, so the last real thing he's done, uh, he's assumed a new identity now.
Right, and that's not as well. Okay, maybe I shouldn't ask that. Yeah. Okay, you don't have to answer, but is that a split personality or is that a deliberate change of name or?
No, that's him just being smart about it. He's just made a new identity. It's not a split personality. It's just him faking his
Okay.
death.
Okay, all right. Well,
Yeah,
fair enough. Cool.
yeah. So
Awesome.
yeah, that's
Because
basically what's happened to
Monroe has a
Monroe.
pretty fucking distinctive voice, and
Yeah, yeah.
there may or may not have been a weird moment on the radio where I was like,
Oh, yeah, maybe.
All right, cool. Fucking A. I don't know what else.
well,
Because that's us up to date now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool. Holy shit. That was an efficient storytelling of like a year's worth of lore right there. That was really cool. Awesome. Fuck, have you got any questions for him, Boom? I think I've...
I had no idea the refuge. I'd been there like once as Norman. I don't think you were around. I was actually
Yeah, I
getting
don't think
attacked by
so.
wolves and infected, and then blacked out, and then like two of your people showed up and saved me, and
Yeah.
took me back to Star Yard. Now I was gonna ask you. I think like right before I remember hearing about Dean Ford's death, somebody made a poster of like a party by the
Oh
refuge.
god. Oh god. I
And then
forgot to talk about that. Oh
yeah,
god.
I
Right.
was wondering like what happened with that. Like what?
Oh well, it was Dean's birthday soon, and he wanted to have a nice little party. I mean, he was guessing it was his birthday. I'm pretty sure in the law it was like February, but he was just his birthday is December 21st. So he was guessing it was his birthday, or at least it had to have been his birthday. So he wanted a party, and
Right.
his whole goal was the last thing he was going to do before he shot himself was have this party and have one last good night. And
Right, cool. Oh,
and
shit.
that's why he never got to do that because of what happened with Drake.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. So yeah, it's the
Oh,
party.
so the party never happened at all? No. Okay.
No, no.
Shit. Oh.
Yeah, like Dingo and Dean were like there's a tavern near Starry Yard and they were working on building it up for the party. They spent
Mm.
like in game like a month trying to build it up.
Oh, Jesus. Oh,
I
that
know.
sucks. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then Dingo died and then Dean died and nobody else wanted to do the party after that. So
Oh.
yeah, yep.
Ouch. Oh,
Yeah.
man. Yeah. That sucks. That seems to happen quite a bit. Like, I remember we were going to have a party it was called Party for the Fallen at Metalurg to, like,
Yep.
commemorate a bunch of people who had died, and then fucking Emily got kidnapped and murdered.
Yep.
Because that's still kind of a thing. I still kind of hope that, like, I don't know. Anyway,
Mhm.
it's just me talking about me again. Never mind.
Mm.
Sorry.
Nah, I did want to ask you like your general opinion though on a few things. Just get your
Yeah, sure.
perspective. Like, how do you feel about the server right now? Like roleplay wise.
I think it's definitely like I think the the RP is definitely going strong. There's a lot of storylines going on,
Hmm.
and I I'm glad that like the server population has been pretty high. I'm not like as being from Livonia, Contagion, like I'd be happy to have me. Like I don't know, were you part of that, Wyler?
No, no. I
No,
came in
no.
halfway through Chernaroos.
Yeah, well, in Livonia, like it was always low puff. Like
Really?
there was like I think I played like quite a lot, and there was most days there was like apart from weekends you get 10, and then like weekdays you get like 3 on every night,
Good God.
like peak American time,
Wow.
3 people on. It was in
No.
the beginning I say it was high towards the end of Livonia it was okay, but in that like middle span it wasn't that high. But yeah, I feel like the server's definitely picked up now that we're back in Chinaris. And I feel like things are going strong, and yeah, things are going good.
It is. It's like. I mean, we're back in, by the way, Boom. I don't know if you're coming back, but
Mm. Wow.
uh, yeah, it's going really strong at the moment, and there is still like a bunch of really cool storylines happening. Like, are Camp Freedom even still alive at the moment? I'm not sure what's going on there, but like, there's just
Mm.
there seems to be such an influx of players, and then there's like all sorts of different little communities growing up and growing big, and that what always happens with communities when they get big is something goes wrong. You know what I mean? And like
Yeah,
a lot of communities have only started in the last few weeks and haven't had their opportunity for that like big blowout to happen yet. And there's always schemers and connivers in the background as well. Like I'm just looking forward to it. I really don't want us to start talking about the next iteration yet. Do you know what I mean? I'm nowhere near that.
yeah,
I'm just
Yeah,
nowhere
it's
near that, like at
still.
all.
I wouldn't even see a need for it. I mean,
Mm-mm.
it's just the population's always medium to. It feels like it's always medium to high.
Yeah.
yeah,
When everybody's on, like after work, European time, like after about 5 p.m. European time, it gets really busy,
Well,
like
I've
straight
seen
away.
yeah,
Mondays. Yeah, I've seen Mondays where it's like 60 people.
Yeah,
It's like
easy.
Jesus
yeah.
Christ. Okay.
Great.
I'm pretty sure like Tuesday, Wednesday, I think it was the last week, the server was full. Like
Wow.
Yeah, there you
it's
go.
crazy.
Yeah, cool. You wonder where everybody is sometimes. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah, like it's
wild.
amazing.
It's so
Like
fun.
yeah, I remember as like Dean, I'd run around like the map for like a couple hours. I don't think how nobody. It's like the map is very big. It's just crazy how many people like.
Hmm.
Even if the server's full, you only if you're lucky, yeah, you find people. But like there are times where you don't find that many. You know.
Hmm.
Right. Yeah, we've always said it's the map's as big as it can be and as small as it can be as well. Like the refuge up there in Story Yard, if you stay down south the whole time, you don't really get a chance to. I mean, because what you just said in the last hour was just so much happened up there.
Yeah.
It's like
Mm.
a small corner of the map, but then like you get so many different characters and storylines out of
And
that.
groups and fucking
Yeah, like
deaths and
you got
betrayals and
French coming to you to take out the what was it? To take out
the
Bushman, and then
Tower.
Bushman
Or
coming to
yeah,
you to take
yeah.
out French.
That's so fun.
Oh yeah. It was just
Wow.
crazy. So much happened.
Yeah, and then fucking Metalurg were just fucking down there chilling, like the whole time, and there's just been like
Mm,
there was stuff happening. Like Metalurg wasn't that boring
yeah.
most of the time,
It
but
was more of like a
yeah, it's just so
got
cool.
rumor mill. Well, not a rumor mill, but like a
It was like an information hub because people would
yeah.
drop by all the time and like sort of tell us
Yeah.
things from all over the place, and it was
Good
just it
place
was
to
just nice and
catch up.
chill. I miss it
Yeah.
sometimes. I really do. I'm sorry, I miss Metalurg.
I'm sorry, I hadn't
Fucking
been paying attention to the
smoky
chat.
lurg.
Hey Jillawilla, Dink Dink, Guardians
Hey.
Army, Pat,
Yeah,
Michael,
nice.
Newton Gaming, coming in.
Hey.
Hey guys, we got Dean Ford today.
Hey, hello.
But yeah,
Um,
I do gotta catch up with your videos. There's just so many. I mean,
yeah.
I watched the one where you're talking about with a black hand,
Mm,
shot up Dean Ford, I think, in that house
yeah,
shootout, and then you were laying on you were laid out. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, you're
yeah.
like really selling it though, which was nice, good. Or
Mm,
that's what you want to see at a role play. Like this guy just got shot up. He's not going to be running around.
Mm.
So you're
Yeah, you
just
do. You always have to pay attention to those details, which is very
yeah.
appreciated.
You're
You're
just
good at
oh,
that kind of thing.
thanks.
your character's
No.
literally laid out and crawling around for like like a good 2 hours of video.
Shit. Cool.
Oh, yeah. I
That's
mean, like,
awesome.
when it comes to the videos, I still have like, because I'm currently doing the like Monroe's whole thing. I still have like so many like that I still need to upload. I have like so because like the way I'm releasing them now, most of this like the most recent episode I've done, that happened like IRL like 2 months ago. It's just I have so
Yeah.
much stuff that I need to keep releasing. I have like
Yeah.
19 other episodes. It's crazy.
Yeah. But that's awesome though, because it means then that there is that bit of delay and people can't edit
Yeah,
so much, you know what I mean? Which like
yeah,
is
exactly.
is good. It is good.
Did you do like a trailer video for Monroe or Dean Ford just recently?
Recently, yeah, I did sort of it was sort of a mix between like a trailer for the Dean Forward series or like it was like a best moments Dean's whole story kind of thing.
Gotcha.
More just
Cool.
like I don't really know how to explain it. You know, it's just like a compilation of just Dean, everything that happened to Dean.
Right. Yeah.
Cool.
That when I saw that, I was like, well, I gotta check
I'm
this
gonna
out.
have to go and have a look at that one, yeah, for
I
sure.
saw. I mean, I didn't watch. I haven't watched it yet. I just saw the title and I was like, oh, sweet. Got like a nice little what to expect, maybe, or like a highlight reel of this is what you're gonna
Yeah.
get.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But
Okay, I do try and remember to ask this of everybody at some point when we have guests. I don't always remember, but if you had a magic wand and you could change anything about We That Remain, would you change anything, and what would that be?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. That's a good question. Right. So I can change anything about We That Remain. I have this magic wand.
Mhm.
Uh, I don't know. I mean, like the server is like, in my opinion, one of, if not the best RP servers on PS4/5.
Mhm.
It's just like it's just amazing the way they run it and everything. Like,
Mhm.
and the
Yeah.
RP on here as well. Like majority of the people do take things seriously and actually try to present these characters and their stories. But then like
Mhm.
you have different ways to express that with journals and deaths and posters and
Mhm.
yeah, and you have content creators and promotion and media. I don't know, I don't think I would change anything honestly. I like the server how it
Oh,
is. Like I wish I could think of something, but no, they've got it all down here. Not gonna lie.
hmm.
nice. That's cool. A glowing, what you call it, review or whatever.
All right.
That's really
Uh,
cool.
what's up, Derek? Michael says he does really good with the Monroe Files.
Oh,
Uh,
thank you.
yeah, Derek says Dean was a goat.
Oh, only the best, only the best.
Yeah, I kind of regretted that was really funny. I do want to mention it because you had a bunch of guys down at Metalurg one time. You were gonna get a cabin, and
Oh my god, oh jeez, oh my. Dean was like, oh, bro, Dean was getting a new mortgage that he had to pay, like, he's like that kid that was with him,
They
Kane, I think his
the
name was.
more annoying, the more it costs
Oh,
for the
yeah.
yeah,
So Emily has this
that,
rule for anybody who doesn't know that the more annoying you are, the more rent you have to pay. The only person that ever actually got applied to was Frasier, because mostly she'd let people pay just by being there, because like strength in numbers has value in itself. but if you pissed her off, she'd start asking you for rent. And as soon as I told Dean that, I never saw him again
Yeah,
until the day before he died.
Oh my god! Like, but Dean had a fortune. He was just in debt. He just if you ever went back there, man, he just Jesus. Damn
That's
kid put
funny.
him in debt.
He was super annoying.
Oh god.
Oh man.
Dean, you only actually talked to Norman a couple times. Honestly, like you never got to say like goodbye to Norman after everything that happened. He just wasn't around for that, was he?
No.
Well,
Poor
yeah,
Norman. You didn't miss much.
fuck you.
I mean, Dean heard stuff up north about like an exorcism or something, but he was just like, what the fuck do you mean an exorcism? Like, oh jeez.
It's
And
so much
baptism.
can happen in little small, like the refuge. I didn't even know half of the stuff that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's why I do like that about the server though, because I like how it's not all just one big story. It's like so many different stories going like for example, yeah, random thing for I don't know, something could be happening in Kamishovo. I don't know if it is, but like for example, something's happening over there. People in like Stock could never know of that storyline, but like so many things could happen there. You know, like
Yeah.
there's so many different stories going on, and
Right.
half the time you won't know most of them unless like you find out about it or see, you know.
I love
Like,
when they start to weave in and out of each other as well.
oh
Like, do you know
yeah,
what I
Yeah.
mean? It's so
Yeah.
cool. So cool.
yeah.
Oh man. We need more traveling characters. Like, do you remember Borscht? Borscht used to come
Oh,
like,
I
and he'd go
remember
around
Borscht.
everybody and fucking just like, you'd get so much information out of him, so many stories and
Oh
everything, because he
yeah.
knew
Yeah,
He was at
everybody.
the McCarthy's too, wasn't he?
He
yeah, he was a
was,
very
yeah.
close friend of the McCarthy's. Yeah.
Yeah. That was fun. Oh man.
Hmm.
Oh, another thing as well, when I came down as Cat to fucking Cherno, I have a bone to pick with you, Philip,
Oh gosh.
because
Yeah.
you were
Okay.
like, you took me aside and you were like, I just wanted to warn you, a bunch of people are going to try and kill you. And then I heard from loads of other people that it was you! It was
Yeah.
you!
Everybody was
You were
No.
cool.
trying to kill me!
Oh, Philip was literally just trying to like please everyone. He was like, "Hey, these people are trying to kill you,"
Blimey!
and then he'd go to the others, and be like,
Blimey!
"I'm gonna kill this woman
Yeah!
soon." Just like just put his eggs in
Completely,
everybody's baskets,
So
like.
hard he can blame Philip for fucking
completely
Catalina not
ruined
becoming
my
his secretary.
secretary.
Philip and Hardy though, they were cool with each other though, weren't they? Like
Yeah,
half the
yeah.
time. Yeah.
I remember the nomads coming down, and I was just like in the middle of doing something, and then I turned around and seen you, and I was like, "Hey, Philip, you want to deal with these guys? You're the head of security."
God.
Memory.
Oh God.
I may have to head off here and go and do some RPing soon. Just to warn
I
you.
hear you. I hear you.
Um,
I got a bunch
it
of
is Saturday
errands.
night. Huh?
Yeah.
What did you mutter under your breath there, Boom?
No, I said I got a bunch of errands. That's also why we're doing it today, just because it's
Yeah.
free time is
Yeah.
for this weekend is just sucked dry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mr. I gotta watch the Super Bowl over here.
It's not the Super Bowl. It's I have to work.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, I forgot.
Right?
Sorry. I got it in my head that he was going to watch the fucking thing, and I was like, "You bastard!" No, he has to work. I do remember that now. I'm sorry. All right.
Thanks for coming in, Michael. And also a huge thank you to the guy in front of us.
Thanks so much, Dean.
No problem. I've enjoyed being on here, honestly. I like the podcast. They're good. It's a good
Right.
idea as well. Like getting different people on here who've played like different characters, getting like a lot of different perspectives. You know, I like it.
Well, we'd like
Thank
to have you
you.
back once Monroe's wrapped up.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
I'd
for
definitely
sure.
be open for that. Yeah.
He's a mysterious character. I want to know more. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to go and hop on We That Remain then.
Later,
So,
boys.
Alright then.
to leave the party, and see you later on. Thanks so much again.
So it's been good.